Hi Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to your May eclipse reading. So this one is taking place on the 5th of the month and is taking place in the sign of Scorpio. We have been having Taurus Scorpio eclipses since 2022, but we're slowly starting to shift the axis into the Aries and Libra axis. So we had a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries in the very end of April, on the 20th or the 21st, depending on where you live. And now we are having a lunar eclipse in the month of May, which is in Scorpio. All right, so the first eclipse, together they combine and they make an eclipse season, by the way. So the first one is like chapter 1. Meanwhile, this one is going to close things out. Okay, it's going to complete the package, basically. If we only look at the first one, we're getting like half the message or half the development and an individual look at what that is bringing. Meanwhile, this one gives the other half. So I would suggest that if you have not watched your zodiac specific reading for the solar eclipse that happened, then I would suggest you do so, because this is going to give you a different type of perspective on that. Solar eclipses bring about more external events and things that are happening outside of us and that motivate us internally. Meanwhile, in lunar eclipses, it's something that is an internal trigger. We feel like, or our soul feels like doing a certain thing and we must enact it. It's sort of like that, inside out, right? So we're looking at what this Scorpio eclipse is bringing for you over here. All right. Let's start with the tarot and then we get into your oracle messages. I chose a little bit of a black and white theme here because Scorpio is all about that. All right, so we have the Six of Pentacles coming up first. Very nice. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Four of Wands. Nice. For some reason that always reminds me of the Six of Wands. Yeah, then we have the Lovers, and we have the Moon. Of course, we have lunar eclipse, which automatically talks about the moon. I would say that your psychic intuition or your sensitive bits are just getting awakened, basically. Okay, so if you have some sort of empathic skills, or you're a clairvoyant, or some type of hidden ability that you have, sensing what other people might be thinking or intending or something of that sort, that's becoming really heightened in this time, because there is a message that wants to come to you, and this can be related to your home and family or some goals that you're trying to achieve in your life, and also the way that you earn your finances. The Lovers indicates that you're making a major choice or a major decision in this time, and that can bring up certain fears and insecurities that we're having. But what's interesting with this particular moon card is that these fears are coming from just us inside. So delusional thinking or agreeing with illusions before we look at reality, not really knowing what is true, what is not. There's something that is just unknown over here. One thing I should mention is that Mercury is still retrograde. It has been retrograde throughout the eclipse season here, because it went retro on the 21st of the month and it will come out of retro on the May 15th. So we're having to go through all this eclipse vibe in kind of a mental fog situation. So of course some things are not very clear, and no matter how much we dig, logically, practically, whoever we ask, we kind of still can't really figure out what exactly is missing. Okay, so there's something like that here. But the reason why this happens is because the outside world does not have the answer. Okay, we just talked about that. The outside world will not be able to help you out with this one. You have to figure it out by yourself, or rather your internal self has the solutions and the messages. So trusting your intuition becomes ultra important at this time. Okay, so any choices you're making, whether it's about partnership, home purchase, income, solutions, perhaps you want to shift your job or have multiple sources of income, and that has repercussions on, your time. And the effort that you spend, are your relationships, is your mental rest and well-being, is that being taken care of as well? Are you accounting for those things? there will be so many of these things that come up to the surface as you think about both these choices. And this even goes for, lifestyle choices as well. Perhaps you want to shift your routine, turn from a morning to a night person, or quite the opposite. And that might mean that you have to shift certain things around. And for you, that is like a big deal, basically. All right. So either way, trusting your inner self is extremely important, because that is going to help you guide yourself in your journey towards greater stability. Scorpio is a fixed sign, and it likes things to remain the same. Okay, same with Taurus. They like things to be the same. As a cardinal sign, you're a cardinal sign. You're not all about keeping things as they are, but rather to keep things going and progressing. So I think the decision you're making here, you're asking yourself, is this a step forward or backward, or am I stagnant? Which direction am I going? A cardinal sign needs a direction. Okay, so this is kind of testing or inviting, I really have to say, inviting other skills to come out to the surface. It's something you've not exercised before. Does not mean you can't do so now. It's just like working out. You keep working on your arms, and they are strong, well done, but the legs are missing, or the torso needs to be worked on, or the back, or whatever it is, right? It's a different muscle. So anytime that you switch focus, there will be a little bit of that pain, some soreness, and like not knowing if everything is going well, or if you're doing the best that you can. Things are still under development, and you will find out as you walk along the journey. But that initial discomfort does not mean that the whole situation is bad or scary, or, any of those things. So there's no need for apprehension, but you might feel a little bit of, nervousness, and a little bit of nervousness, basically. Yeah, you might feel that, or feel unsettled. Yes. That's what I was feeling. You might feel a little unsettled because the stability is kind of a question mark, and so is the direction. You're very much in unknown territory. But Scorpio falls in your 8th house. So like I said, your psychic skills are becoming stronger. Doing hypnosis, either with a certified practitioner or by yourself, there can be some meditation techniques as well, where you just have to delve a little bit deeper and figure out your motivations. Scorpio really likes to discover what's underneath the surface. Like, what exactly is the basis of this confusion? All right, what's the basis of the fear or the insecurity? Let's dig through it. Because in that moment, you kind of, in the quest of finding the answers from yourself itself, you kind of get rid of the delusions. It just is part of the process, okay? It's not like getting out of your way, dealing with your devils, and then coming back. No, it's really the part of the process, and that's how Scorpio kind of does it, right? So delve into that inner self, because it's kind of the most natural part of you as well. It's your mind, it's your subconscious, things that you've not noticed but are there and very much an integral part of your everyday being are being discovered over here. And the faster or the most efficiently you can discover your own hidden motivations, the quicker you can either work along with them or resolve them. All right, let's see your feather messages. We have the power to heal the earth is within you. Then we have Blackbird, which says the magical and unique qualities of your untapped potential are unfolding now. Exactly. Then we have the Eagle, which says you're learning all aspects of spiritual connection and reaching new heights. Absolutely. And we have the White Owl, the wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. Well, if they don't already say everything that I just did, right? Wow. So the White Turkey, the power to heal the earth, I think is talking about your financial situation, if that's something you're concerned about, just the material realm, things related with Taurus, your self-worth and esteem, your feelings of security and stability, things like that. So if you're feeling as though someone else is taking the power away, or that you're not getting what you deserve, and things of that sort, there needs to be a turning inward situation where you can do everything that you want on the outside, and you absolutely can. I mean, with your level of ambition and drive, you absolutely can. No problem. But the thing is, we also need to be clear as to why we're doing something, or is that meaningful enough for us, What is that for you? That's something you're discovering here. And in the process, you're finding a lot of things that you are yet to discover, right? Some things that surprise you in a very nice way. And you're like, hey, yes, I could do this. That's an idea. Or I feel as though this would be a good way for me to go, and I can't explain why. I just have this pull. I have this urge to go in a certain way. But as you do that and you go through the motions, you discover some things that you would never have before. It's like walking in an unknown path, right? No one has been there, so no matter how many times if you ask other people, they can't help you, they don't know. So it's your journey, it's your pull. No matter how many people say they've not been there, you still have this inclination to go there first. You're a pioneer, right? You want to take an initiative and explore an unexplored area. So of course someone else can't help you out through it. They can encourage you, okay? You have supporters for sure. That it's not like you're left alone or anything. Your family's behind you, your partners are behind you, you have the resources. That's like no problem. It's all about the internal world this time. So what is it that stops you? And also, what is it that motivates you? Why do you want to go in that situation? What are you expecting to find? Is there an expectation? Is it the joy of exploration? What exactly is it? And after you know that motivation, you're going to walk the path. But even if you walk the path, you don't yet know where to go, right? You're still figuring it out. And this whole journey of figuring things out is going to help you find many more skills, okay? And you're going to be very grateful for this. So it's like, apart from the initial confusion and discomfort of the unknown territory or, unknown directions, you're still very grateful for all the things that you find, and you feel a sense of achievement, having conquered whatever it is, even if it is like you're dealing with your fears and it's like a big fear, you're like really great. You're feeling awesome about yourself that you got this, you did this, okay? Now the White Owl, yes, this is quite literally listening to your intuition. With the Lovers, by the way, I kept getting that you are kind of tied, and you can see all these ropes. I'm calling it like the ropes of fate. You're tied to your mission, your purpose, or your soul. Not in a forceful way. The Lovers is not really two people being forced to be together, but in the sense that this makes sense. This is it. Your soul is your soulmate, kind of, right? That is your first soulmate, and then we kind of look for other people and call them that. But either way, you are discovering that link, or like you're learning how to speak to yourself in unknown situations, connecting with yourself a lot deeper and finding much higher levels of harmony. You're a masculine sign, you're ruled by Mars, so you're very go-getting, you're external, and you're driven, you put things in order, in structure, you make them make sense, you can delegate, you can do all of these very masculine and wonderful, strong qualities that you have. But the feminine side of you is wanting to develop here a lot more. And the feminine signs would be, one of them would be water signs. The Queen of Cups over here represents the Scorpio energy. The Moon represents Pisces. So all of them, it's kind of a feminine suit there. So you're learning to develop that a lot more. And that way you become a whole and balanced individual yourself. If you're trying to attract partners, this is very likely that you will attract someone here and make a very solid emotional connection and also physical connection. And this can go a lot longer than you might initially expect. The moon is like, I don't know what to think and I don't know what to expect. I'm not sure, and this can be because of past fears or something. But either way, you kind of gingerly step yourself forward and you're like, go for it, and you're like, let's see what happens, and then you see that it's something very wonderful. All right, so yes, soulmate within yourself and also externally, but the first step is the internal work, and then we externalize it. We see you are learning all aspects of spiritual connection and reaching new heights. That's kind of the soul connection that I was picking up on, and also I didn't see that card when I was talking about it. Anyway, so, but also other than that, you will be connecting more with the universe, so understanding law of attraction better, or working with the subconscious and the other parts of yourself in order to create the desired reality. Other people can be coming in and collaborating with you as well if you have something going on and you're kind of nervous to do it by yourself, or not really nervous, but perhaps it's like too much for you to do by yourself. So you're partnering up with someone is also possible, and that's forming a very solid foundation. And there's a lot of work flowing in as well, by the way. Yeah. So if you're asking, like if you have a business and you're asking if that's possible, then yes, it looks very possible. You might even feel like a little bit overwhelmed or like unsure if you can meet all the deadlines as well, so it might be on the too much kind of side, but you have to make some time for your rest and relaxation as well. That is going to keep you more grounded and stable throughout the day. All right, then we have the siren coming through. Yeah, this is exactly that, a call you cannot ignore. A call that pull, that tug that I was getting, there's something that's just pulling you. And it's just so compelling that you don't want to disagree. Okay, it's just that the previous experiences of fears might have been a little bit too much. Or like you just general, anxieties and being unsure. I mean, everyone has that. But yes, with the siren there, it's like you don't want to argue. When you know that type of situation. So whether that's related to career or your partnerships or your income source or your own self, when you've reached the point and you've discovered it. And this ruby over here is like reminding me of hidden gem, and that's talking about the unknown possibilities that are kind of calling you, basically. I know you're adventurous. This is a different kind of adventure, right? But use that adventurous spirit that you have to navigate through, and trust your intuition, okay? Don't be shy to engage with it. It's already in you. So yes, go for it. Then we have the creator. Yeah, those of you who are more creative in nature, we have the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. There can be like a collaboration with the lovers that is creative in nature, or it is, creative projects that you do and you're partnering up with someone, or you're making some major choices. Perhaps you want to set up your own business and like you've not done that before. So you might be asking other people these questions, but the way that you want to go about things is like quite not done, in a way, or like you are still unsure of the whole process, even if you have the technical information, right? So you have to kind of make your way through this situation here by yourself. The creator also talks about how you're manifesting your universe, and it is your little choices, your everyday actions. Also, like, what do you put your attention into? Where do you focus your mind, your money, your energy, and who are you sharing this space with? These questions will really come up here. Who do you talk to? What do you spend time with? And so on. That is going to help you understand what your priorities are and where you want them to be instead. All right. So this is some like self-work needing to be done over here. There is a tinge of the practicality, of course, but yeah, I think it's the inner choices. Like, I don't feel right anymore. I don't want this anymore for myself. These are the questions or the thoughts that are going to push you to make some sort of tangible change. All right, so let's see what else we have for Aries, please, for this eclipse. Main eclipse, please. Yeah, we have Taurus in the 7th house and the moon. Okay, so yeah, there can be a creative collaboration here related to design, farming, anything grounded, practical as well. There can be joining of forces or wanting to join forces in order to achieve greater results and better satisfaction, more rest time, and so on. There is also an emotional connection that you're forming with another person, or it can also talk about you're getting a lot of business from your clients if you have that, and you're making a close bond with them as well. Seventh house talks about romantic, platonic relationships, and also business contracts, the promises that we make to one another, all of those things over here. So you're feeling very blessed, lucky, and fulfilled, content in that area. But yes, there will be some revelations that come through. Perhaps again, you want to change your income source or the type of people that you connect with. And whatever the case is, you will recognize from your feelings and your intuition which way you want to go with this. It might be uncomfortable because it's something established already. But Scorpio is all about meaningful, transformation. So while it might not make sense in the very moment of around the eclipse, it will start to, make itself very, very clear, especially when we join forces with the previous solar eclipse as well. I think it gives you a little bit more context or more direction as to, not really direction, but a feeling. Really, the feeling is your direction at this time, as to what would be the right choice for you. All right. So that's what I have for you, Aries. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading helps you out, and make sure you watch the solar eclipse video as well. It'll give you a lot more context about what's to come in your coming 4 to 6 months after the eclipse is done. I hope that helps. I will see you some other time. Take care. Bye.